first of all, I want to say thank you so much for everyone who has joined. My name is Melanie Beckett, and I am the ELEA Membership Director. And I am sitting in for Corey Newman, who really wanted to be here. She is our ELEA Executive Director. And we are so honored to have Greg and Cindy here with Spirit and Truth Publishing. And I am looking forward to learning a lot more about them and what they do and learning with you. Just a few things to go over before turning it over. First of all, I believe everybody has, just because this is a recorded webinar, is to have all microphones muted. Please use the chat feature to put your questions and comments in it. And I will be monitoring these, and at the very end of their presentation, then I will read the questions to them so that way they can address you directly. So once again, thank you so much for joining. And Greg and Cindy, it's all yours.
Great.
Hello, my name is Gregory Ron, or you can call me Greg. I am the owner and publisher at Spirit and Truth Publishing. You'll have to excuse my voice, and I hopefully won't cough. I'm just getting over a cold. But I will share my screen. Right. So Spirit and Truth Publishing is what we are, and we're going to be talking about our classroom resources from our Living the Word series. And Cindy and I are going to be going back and forth in discussing that. Cindy is our lead editor. So this is me, again, Gregory Ron. I have a Master of Arts in Church History and Theology from Luther Seminary in St. Paul. I started on this journey by actually writing my own first curriculum. It was on worship and liturgy and the church year for pre-K through second and third through sixth. It's called Spirit and Truth, Teaching Kids the Heart of Worship. It's actually is on our website and available. And that started and it grew, and now we actually have 16 different products. And actually one of those has different series. We'll talk about that later, so that we could give that number slightly different. So that's me. Oops.
And I'm Cindy Paulson. I am the lead editor, and my biggest connection to the ELEA is that I taught kindergarten and fifth grade in a Lutheran school in California. I sort of fell into curriculum development, and I have been fortunate to work on some really fun projects, including the Spark Story Bible, if you're familiar with that, and the Spark Sunday School curricula, a variety of VBS programs, and many other projects for Augsburg Fortress Publishing, Thrive, and now Spirit and Truth Publishing. I have over 20 years in Christian education ministry, and this is I have two a little bit more than part-time jobs, and I currently serve as the director of faith formation at a Lutheran church in a suburb west of Minneapolis, Minnesota. We have just the greatest, in my opinion, team of contributors. They are all experienced Christian education professionals in congregations from quite small to extremely large. Many of them have a background in classroom teaching as well. And all of us are absolutely passionate about faith formation, inclusivity, and age appropriateness for the lessons.
And again, Spirit and Truth Publishing, we are a small independent business. We are here to provide you with easy to use, theologically sound materials that you do not have to rewrite in order to use, and they gives you more time to do what you are called to do of teaching. So again, as I mentioned before, we have 16 different projects. The one we'll be mostly talking about today is this top bullet point, the key Bible stories, more of a classic Sunday school or a classroom product that talks about the key Bible stories that students should know, and Cindy will go into more depth in that. We have a series called Learning Together that has individual topics on different units, and Cindy will also mention that as well. We actually started out with the narrative lectionary. We have now an intergenerational revised common lectionary curriculum and other intergenerational curricula, including an intergenerational confirmation curriculum.
So our curricula is structure for all of our products, but really, really done, in my opinion, well in our classroom product is utilizing and trying to reach out to the various multiple intelligences. We all know that as teachers that every student has a different intellectual composition, learning in a variety of different ways. So our lessons present information in several different ways. Same information or parts of information using a variety of multiple intelligences throughout. The other thing that I don't have on the slide that I want to say is options. We have tried to provide more options than could possibly be used in even 90 minutes. So it could easily fill 90 minutes, and it also can easily be broken down into, I've got 10 minutes here or 20 minutes here. So the options are, I find, really helpful when I'm using the curriculum in my setting. Oh, sorry, I forgot that was me. The prep time, we've tried to minimize prep time. Most of the supplies are very basic supplies, commonly found in your supply rooms or in your desk. We do have it scripted to make it really easy for someone to take 10 minutes or less to be ready to teach. I know that teachers I have given this to that have filled in at the last minute, like last year at VBS when 3 of my 5 workshop leaders had personal emergencies one morning of VBS. I just grabbed people and handed them, here's the lesson. And it went well. You never would have known. I needed 3 substitutes in the last minute. As I mentioned, if you need to fill 10 minutes, 45 minutes, even 90 minutes, we have got you covered on that. And a single lesson could easily be spread out over a week or more. You want to do a month on Noah's Ark, you could easily, and you're going to meet once or twice a week, you could easily do that.
All right. And because of my background in theology, I work as the theological editor here, and what we focus on here is love. So the main story we tell is about God loving us unconditionally without limit, and then our response to that of loving God and spreading that love to our neighbors. That's we do that, and just skip for the broad use. Our customers, Sunday school church customers, are from all different denominations, and we focus on those things that keep us together. And so again, we have quite a variety of customers who are very pleased with how things are. One of our, I think, essential to love is inclusivity. So we make sure in our writing to be as inclusive as possible for all of the variety of differences that we can put together for ourselves. Race, disability, gender identity, sexual orientation, family shapes and sizes. Try not to, and economics. Try not to assume anything for that. Cindy?
And now I get to talk about the classroom product specifically. There are 2 age levels. There's the pre-K to 2nd grade and the 3 to 6. The structure is the same for both. The difference is age appropriateness directed at the appropriate ages. And in the pre-K to 2nd grade has story centers that could be set up in your classroom for free play time, for example. The classroom curriculum, classroom lessons cover 76 of the classic Bible stories over a 2-year period. So starts in the Old Testament each year, carries through with lessons in the church seasons of Advent and then Lent, Easter, and ending, ending with beginning of the early church. Before we go on to the other product, I just kind of want to walk you through what a teacher guide contains. The very first page is an overview page, so you can glance at it and get a feel for, okay, what is the story? The key verse, there's a key verse from the Bible citation. If you want to learn new words or each part is a memory verse, there is the point of the lesson. I always find as a teacher, it's helpful to know right at the start, what is it I'm trying to teach? What is the message in this lesson? And then we have what we call a Bible nuts and bolts to start teaching children, even at a young age, that about the Bible and how it's put together and what it talks about. So, for example, the Bible is a collection of books. And that might be just that one Bible nuts and bolts activity. Then we have what we call our activities a la carte. You could also think of it as a table of contents. It lists the activity title and the tagline, and those should give you an idea of what the actual activity is, a time estimate for how much we think in most circumstances each activity will take, and the supplies needed for each. And those are laid out in a table all across. The next section after the activities a la carte is the page of background for leaders. And I know this is one of the things I really like when I'm giving this to people to teach, is it's got a story summary. If you're not familiar with the story and, oh my gosh, where's my Bible? You can quick look at that. There's an explanation of the point, which again is the focus of the lesson, as to why that point was chosen and how it fits with the story, and another brief explanation of the Bible nuts and bolts, which is the section about teaching the kids about the Bible. When you get to the activities themselves, the supplies are listed first. So it's easy to glance and say, okay, I'm going to need child's friendly scissors and red construction paper and a white piece of chalk. The next section is what you do. What do you need to prep anything for those supplies to do the lesson? For an example, it might say cut 3 1-inch strips of paper for each student. Not all, I want to make sure you know, not all of our activities require preparation. If I were to guess, I would say maybe half. And the preparation really shouldn't take more than 5-10 minutes. And then we get to the guts of the activity, the instructions. And what we have done is bolded. So if you really want to just pick it up and go in just a few minutes. You can pick it up and read the bolded text. And then next to that, you would see perhaps not in bold, hold up your Bible to show the children. After a question, you will see in italics possible answers they might give or ways to help draw answers out of the kids. So, and the activities are 1 to a page, might be a page and a half or a page, but we don't cram the activities onto pages. So it's just, I find it easier to read a lesson when I'm not looking at a variety of lessons on the same page. Learning Together is another product that we think can be great for schools. They are themed units. Greg, am I correct? We have our themes on the next slide. Yeah. So the topics we currently have are God's gift of water, and that's diving into the stories of water throughout the Bible, from creation through Jesus walking on water. And I will admit, I used that as my VBS last year at the church where I work, and everyone loved it. We have heroes of the Bible. I mean, what child doesn't like a hero? And we learn that we can all be heroes when we serve God and others with Ruth's loyalty, David's humility, Esther's courage, Paul's resilience, and the compassion of the Good Samaritan. There is in the Living Together lesson, again, a point for every day, and it typically is we can be humble like David, or be kind like the Good Samaritan. So there's something the kids can repeat over and over as they're learning about each topic. We have women of the Old Testament currently, and that's Sarah, Miriam, Rahab, Deborah, and Hannah. So all of those would be, in my opinion, really fun VBSs to do. You could also do them with older students. Bible 101 is literally just that, introducing participants to the basic skills and information about the Bible. Do justice is, oh my gosh, what a topic these days, and culturally appropriate. Holy cow, do justice is, what is justice? And why are we called to do justice as we follow Jesus? The I am statements of Jesus, I am the bread of life, I am the light of the world, investigates the significance of some of Jesus' statements about himself in the Gospel of John. Bible 101, do justice, and the I am statements of Jesus, they're all good for any age, but I used Bible 101 with my 7th and 8th grade confirmation kids. So that carries a wide range. Now, Greg, do you want to go back up to the previous slide? Thank you. As I mentioned, I used them for VBS. They're great for day camps in the summer if you have summer, what do they call them? Summer splash or extended days. They're also really good for multi-generational events. So if you were to have a grandparents' day or a all-age family event, these work really well for those as well.
This is me.
It is.
So in closing, so our pricing is based on the attendance range of those using it. So you can see however many, so if it's just even just a small group of your class that's using it, you would only pay for that small group. If it's larger, then you'd pay for larger. All of this I'll show you in just a moment where to find this pricing information. Each of our products, including these Classroom and the Learning Together, have free full lessons that you can download for free. You can, at your leisure, peruse it and see what we're all about. And if you want even more, you can actually get that I Am Statements of Jesus unit of the Learning Together for free. So you just go to our website, sign up for our e-newsletter, and you'd get a link to download that entire 5-lesson unit. We are having a promotion through ELEA, and I've been told that you can log into your member information center, and we have a code there that you can get 15% off your order.
Greg, it just occurred to me, we did not mention that these are all downloadable products.
Correct.
There's no shipping involved. So yeah, they're all downloadable. And then once you own them, Greg, do you own them?
Yes, then once you have it, then there's nothing else you need to do. There's no leaflets to purchase. There's no renewal fees to give us. So once you have it, then you can use it for multiple years to come. And we're going to just show our website and show, sorry, all right. There we go, switching to that. So here's our website. Sorry, at least for me, stuff is in the way. You can see in here it says download a free product in the white button. That's that I Am Statements of Jesus. You can click on that and fill in your information. We have both quarterly and monthly emails. And then once you get that, you'll get an email that has a link for that. If you go to our product overviews here, you can see all of the different product categories that we have. We have resources for schools. And here we have both the classroom for Living the Word Classroom and the Learning Together. These go to overview pages. So here you go. This is the classroom product. You can see this. We will have, so we have year blue. Cindy mentioned it's going to be a 2-year curriculum. Right now we have year 1, which we decided to call year blue. Year green is coming next year. And so you can order the pre-K through 2nd, 3rd through 6th. You can look at the scope and sequence to see all of the different lessons that we do. You can also see what we have for year green. We are making adjustments as we go. So there might be small changes for that, especially for that year green. Do that. So if you select order, a new window pops up, and this gives you the information you and allows you to order it. So up top, you can order a full year. You can just order the fall, the winter, and the spring. And then again, the attendance ranges there. So it gives you a little bit of information up top here. Notices we are in the midst of publishing those, so you can download the fall lessons right away as soon as you order. The winter are like a week away from being able to be downloaded. The spring will be available to be downloaded by August. Again, there's download. It is downloaded. There's download instructions. Here under Learn More is a lot of what you might be looking for. It again is another link to the scope and sequence. You can download the sample for that particular product. There's a page with more information, those release dates I was just talking about, and then a PDF file of the different product pricing. And you can see that it's a full year's 38 lessons. So 2 years of 38 lessons is 76. And again, from the same point, you can go to the Learning Together overview and see the different themes we have. This I Am Statements you can get for free, or if you don't want to sign up, you are welcome to order it. But you don't have to. And Cindy, can you think of anything I'm missing?
No, there's lots of other information on the website, and feel free to share the website with other teachers or people at the church that your school's associated with. And these are the two that I would think are most useful and helpful for teachers in a school setting.
Right. Okay, going back here, and again, our website is, if it can do it, stop it, spiritandtruthpublishing.com.
And I think Melanie put that in the chat as well for us.
Excellent. And and again, you can contact, there's a contact form on our website that sends an email directly to me, but you can also email me directly, g.ron@spiritandtruthpublishing.com. Cindy is editor.cp@spiritandtruthpublishing.com. And we will also be dropping those into the chat if you want. Once I figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I want to reiterate, please feel free to contact us. I am happy to answer any questions. I would love to hear your comments, and certainly if you find something that you don't think works, please let me know. Our curricula are living products. We are always adjusting as we learn. Do we have some time for some questions?
We do. And I see where there was a question from Tamala. And let me scroll back up. It says, what is the difference between living the word and the learning together for schools?
Greg, would you like me to take that one? Or I'll just take it. How's that? Living the word classroom is a typical curricula with, gosh, I don't even remember how many activities in each lesson that covers kind of the classic Bible stories, starting with creation through the early church. Learning together are topical units, themed units. So if you're doing a unit on manners or be kind, you might want to look at the do justice. And in those lessons, excuse me, we have the same type of overview page, lesson a la carte, but then there is specifically in learning together, there is a craft, there is storytelling activity. Think of it like if you've ever worked with VBS or had kids who went to VBS, think of it laid out like a VBS. So there's 5 different stations you could set up: storytelling, crafts, snack, games, and science. And science, and they're hands-on. They're not snacks that somebody makes and hands to the child. It's snacks that the children put together themselves. So for example, may not always be healthy. The one that comes to mind is Parting of the Red Sea in God's Gift of Water. And it's a Jello square, red Jello, to represent the Red Sea, although we know it wasn't red. And you have a gummy bear to represent Moses, and a pretzel rod for his staff. So Moses gets to walk across the Red Sea, split the Red Sea. So science is hands-on. Trying to think of, we don't do Mentos and Coca-Cola bottles. We, know that one can be unsuccessful. I'm trying to think of a science lesson off the top of my head, and it's not coming to me. Oh, great, thank you. So now you can actually see our activities and supplies are a la carte. Raising bread, making a bird feeder. We really try to vary the activities because we know that if the child who likes to do crafts is maybe not the same as the child who loves to play games, and vice versa. Games are typically active games. Well, I shouldn't say typically are. They're active and not as active games. They are typically not paper and pencil games. Yeah, those don't interest me very much. But thinking of a cracker tower, how many crackers how high can you build that tower with oyster crackers? So there's some, if it's raining outside, there's still something you can do with a game. Oh, rainbow toast, that's a fun one. Did I answer your question?
This is Tamala. So can you hear me?
Hi, Tamala. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're trying to wrap our heads around. We of course have searched for a long time to find, a good curriculum. We're ELEA, but we only have about, we only have about 45% of our kids that come from the ELCA church
Right.
here, and so we wanted something generic enough. So I'm thinking that between the two, I'm guessing that we're looking for some religious curriculum to use in the classroom, 10 minutes to 30 minutes,
Right.
a couple times a week. So we're probably looking more at the living the word then, correct?
Well, honestly, it depends on what approach you want to take. If you were to the classroom curriculum, for example, if you wanted to give them some religious education about a story and maybe a story a week, are you looking for something to use daily for 5 days or once a week, or?
It kind of depends on the classroom and the teacher, the
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess I would encourage you, well, either will work, but I would encourage you to look at the classroom, because you could take, if you're doing from 1 day a week to 5 days a week of activities, you could easily do a story a week. If it's 1 or 2 days a week, you could do a story a month. It's
Mhm.
very flexible. So it
Okay.
depends on, do you want to teach them kind of principles or specific, the creation through Advent, Lent, early church? In your am I correct that you're a preschool?
Oh, we're preschool through 6th grade.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if I was for a preschool, I would probably go with the classroom, preschool through 6th grade.
Okay.
And then you can have all the students on the same lesson. Heaven forbid they might go home and talk.
Yeah.
But
So when you're looking at your like your blue here, so this is what is this for preschool through 6th grade? These are all the
It
lesson
is.
titles then. Okay. And do you divide and conquer that, or are there different levels of teaching that are
There are
specified?
two age levels. There's the pre-K to 2nd grade and the 3rd to 6th grade.
Okay.
They're the same story, the same point, the same Bible citations, the same Bible nuts and bolts. The difference really is the activities are geared specifically at the different ages.
Okay.
So you don't have to try and make a 1st grade lesson work for a 6th grader.
Gotcha. Okay. So it could be that if you're here 3rd through 6th grade, you would get the same lesson for 3 years in a row.
No. Well, you could if you were to use this. We have 2 separate years. So we have year blue is one set of stories. The 2nd year, which I believe is year green. This is our 1st year of year blue. So that has a different set of 38 stories. For example, the creation story, is in Genesis 1 and 2. So
Yep.
1 year you get Genesis 1, 1 year you get Genesis 2.
Okay, so I see the year green scope and sequence. It says it's coming in 2024.
Right.
Do we know, is that January or is that July or December? Do you know for sure when that's popping out?
Greg, am I safe to say if we look at the release dates, they will be similar for green year as they are for year blue?
Probably.
a
So
year
we
later.
try to get the so the first 13 lessons, fall lessons, we try to get out in January if we can. And so as soon as that year's available to order, should be able to download that right away. Winter, we try to get a couple months later, and spring a couple months after that. If we can do things faster, we love to do things faster, but we are putting out quite a few products for that. So, and we don't want to make you wait until we finished everything before dropping the whole thing.
Right. So if we purchase the year blue curriculum, that would be January through December already done, right?
Actually, we go by program year or school year.
Okay.
So we have 3 quarters, a fall quarter, which is available now. Because if y'all are anything like me, some teachers are and some teachers aren't. I already have my scope, what I'm planning to do for each lesson for next September through May.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And I am literally one lesson away with the winter from getting that to the person who puts that online. So
Okay.
definitely by the end of June, if not in the next week or so, those will be available for download. Especially since I'll be going out of town a bunch this summer, August is when the spring will be coming out.
Oh, okay. I see.
So yeah, we don't think in terms of the normal calendar year. We think in terms of the church program or school, a typical school year.
Okay. Choose an option. So let me see. So classroom, like full year. I think I get it. Okay.
So it's available to order now, and I believe that would give you a little better price break.
Right.
And you just download the curricula a quarter at a time.
Okay. Okay, I think I understand. So thank you.
What? Okay. I was going to say your face tells.
I'm just unsure. Yeah, I know. I'm unsure. Okay, so if I order the blue, do I order it for the full year or do I only order it for August through December?
You order for the whole year, and then you can download the first quarter now. The second quarter will be available for download in a week or two. And
Okay.
the third quarter would be available for download in August.
Okay. And I would just go ahead and order blue because we haven't used it before instead of the green.
Correct.
Sequence.
Right.
Okay.
And this is our first year putting this out. So year green doesn't exist yet.
Okay. Oh,
and it doesn't matter which year comes in which order. It's just to give you a variety of 1 year, next year. And there are enough activities in there. So as students progress to the next class, so they're moving from 3rd grade to 4th grade, they'll have your blue, your green, or green blue, doesn't matter. And then 5th, 6th grade, they'll have a repeat of those stories, but there are enough activities where they don't have to have a repeat of the exact same activities.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry to monotonize some.
No. And feel free to email me with any questions.
Are there any more questions? that anyone might have. You can just unmute and go ahead and ask, or you can put them in the chat. I know I'm excited about downloading the I am statements. I think that just has really piqued my interest, and I am anxious to see it for my own self and then to pass it on. So thank you.
And as we said, if you have any questions, just feel free to email. I am typically able to respond within a day, sometimes in an hour, sometimes might be a few hours, depending if I'm at my church job or if I'm working remotely for Spirit and Truth.
Yep, and I respond within 1 business day. So
That is wonderful. Thank you all so much. I just got a message from Corey, and she said to say hello. She is stuck in an airport currently, so
Oh,
I know. So anyway, if that is it and we don't have any more questions, do you all have any closing comments at all? I'll let you go ahead and close it out.
I just want to thank you all for being here and listening to our spiel.
yes, thank you.
We are excited about this curriculum. And I certainly would have used it years ago when I was teaching in a Lutheran school. If there had been anything available, gosh, I had to teach a whole year of Martin Luther, religion every day to 5th graders. Talk about a dry religion year for me. So this is a little more exciting than that.
That is wonderful. Well, thank you all so much. And if you have any questions, please shoot them an email, and I know they will be happy to talk to you. So once again, thank you so much for joining in, and let us know if we can help you in any way.
Yes,
Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.